Hello, it's a gorgeous afternoon up here in Box Hill and we're going to go for a drive. Because the situation with the pandemic at the moment is quite bad, we're going to sit in the car and I'm going to take you from the top of Box Hill down to the bottom, and then we'll take a different route on the way back from the bottom to the top. Lots of trees, maybe a few cyclists, and I'm going to give you a little bit of history about where I live in the heart of the countryside here in beautiful Surrey. So let's get the engine started and enjoy a drive with Clive. Right, let's go. Sunshine's beautiful. First of all, we'll turn left and we'll go towards what is known as Zigzag Road. I actually did this same video last week, but the weather wasn't very good and I wasn't very happy with it. So this time, hopefully, will be a lot better. But the pandemic in this country at the moment is very, very serious. The hospitals and everybody's trying to cope with it the best they can, but we are in a second national lockdown. But today we're just going to have a nice little drive, you and me, and enjoy some of the beautiful countryside that Box Hill has to offer. Looks like we've got a little bit of a mist up here, but that's quite normal. So Box Hill is 687 feet above sea level. It is part of the Green Belt and the National Trust. If you haven't seen any National Trust videos, check out my Claremont Lake National Trust video and it gives you an idea of what the National Trust is all about. But basically the National Trust is about preserving and looking after our countryside, and they do a wonderful job. So here we go. So first of all, we'll start from the top. We'll go down the zigzag, which has got loads of very sharp twists and bends, and have to be very, very careful what we do. But it is so picturesque. Lots of beautiful trees and scenery. And this is a place where you have many tourists come from basically all over the world. If they're in England, many of them will come to Box Hill just to see the views and explore the countryside. And this is one of the most beautiful places in Surrey and my home, yeah. And last week we had snow up here and everybody else down below didn't have any snow, so we do tend to get a different weather climate. You got loads and loads of cyclists up here. I'm not expecting lots of people, but I'm sure many of them are just simply coming out to get some lovely fresh air. It's quite cold, but it's a beautiful day. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's really nice to have you along with me as well. I have to be very, very careful here because do get lots of walkers and cyclists, so I have to be extremely cautious and watch our speed when we're driving here. We're coming up to what's known as the viewpoint on the left hand side. I won't be stopping there today, but this is a place that many people love to stand and shrouded in mist down there at the moment and look down at towards Reigate and Brockham Village, Brockham Village holds a huge firework display every year, but of course this year I don't think that happened. I didn't venture out anyway. So now we come to the Box Hills gift shop. So if ever you're in England and things return to normal, the Box Hills shop's got some lovely souvenirs. You've got a nice cafe there which serves a good coffee and have a bite to eat. And now we will start our descent on the Zigzag Road. This is a very beautiful, picturesque road, but you have to be very, very careful when driving down here, because you know, you get these walkers and cyclists, and the corners on this road are extreme. They really are very, very tight. This corner is probably what I call the second tightest corner. So yeah, but it'll open up in a minute and then you will see the beautiful view from the top of Box Hill. Looks like a photographer there on the left. I think I've seen that gentleman before. Well, we'll be going into the sunshine in a minute. So, oh, this is lovely. Look at the sunshine there between those trees. Isn't that glorious? The cyclist coming up there's a nice shot. So we're now on the Zigzag Road. Now the Zigzag Road, this is the road that was used in the 2012 Olympics for the cyclists. So being as I live on the Box Hill Road, I could pop in and out between each lap and grab a cup of coffee. They did 9 laps of this road, but in actual fact I'm going to take you on the route that the cyclists rode as well. And when you think, by the time I finish this, that they've done 9 laps of the Zigzag Road and round Box Hill, and that was before riding back to London, it's just astounding how fit those guys are. Absolutely incredible. So we're now approaching, this is a corner you cannot make one single mistake. You cannot afford to, because it literally doubles back on itself. So if I was to go too fast down here, I'd end up going into the Pinehurst rest home, and I don't want to do that yet. So a hard turn round to the left, right the way round, and that's taking care of that corner. There's lots of speed ramps on. Many years ago I used to cycle, I used to use my motorbike and come up here, and in my younger days, which was fabulous. So look at that, isn't that that's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love these small trees, and they have had sheep grazing on the hill, but obviously they fence it off. So on the left hand side you get a fence if any sheep are grazing up there. There's a lady doing a pretty severe steep climb. That is a steep part. That'll get your heart pumping for sure. So now we come up to the last, this is the last corner of the Zigzag Road. So that's basically pretty straightforward now until we get to the bottom, but the bottom part of this narrows up very much, so again we have to be very, very careful what we're doing. It's 30 miles an hour down here. There's no cars coming at the moment, but the bottom part of this is this narrows up a great deal, so I have to be a little bit extra careful down here. How are you guys doing today anyway? What's the situation in your country? Back into the sunshine again. Another cyclist start his very grueling journey up that hill. Now this is where you have to be extra careful, because not only the road narrows, but you can't see what's going to come into the entrance. Now we're going to turn left here, so we get onto the main dual carriageway. It's all clear. this road some years ago, keep your eyes open on the left, it's what's known as the Burford Bridge Hotel. About 6 years ago this road flooded and this hotel was underwater. The water was right past the windows, and that's because you have on the left hand side, although you can't see it, is the River Mole, and that particular year we had rain and more rain, and it flooded into the hotel, and the hotel was actually shut for, it was closed for about nearly 3 years. Right, we're on the dual carriageway now, and I have to stick to 50 miles an hour because we've just passed some speed cameras. But you've got one set there on the left, and I'll be coming up to another set at the end of the road on the right, and what they do is measure your speed between the cameras. So if I break the speed limit, I'll end up getting a ticket. But again, years ago this road didn't have speed cameras, so when I was on my motorbike, needless to say, I tended to ride quite fast. The trees are still bare at the moment. It's a lovely blue sky. The sunshine's beautiful actually. It's absolutely glorious. So we're just enjoying this little drive along the dual carriageway, and then I'm going to get back to you in a second when we start our ascent up a box hill and a different way, and it's just as pretty, I can guarantee you that. So sit back and just enjoy the ride. If you look on the right hand side in a minute, you will see the other set of speed cameras. There they are, average speed check. When we get to the roundabout here, we're going to indicate right. This is what they call the Mickleham Roundabout. At the end of this road we will start our ascent up Box Hill, but the road is beautiful. It's full of these gorgeous trees, and there's a little lake on the right hand side. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the drive's lovely. It's just nice to get out, have this little drive, and be able to take you along with me so that you can see a little bit of my home and perhaps lift the spirits up a little bit, a bit of a smile on your face. I love driving, I really enjoy it. So we'll indicate the right hand lane. up to a roundabout, and that's where it becomes really pretty again as you're heading right back into the countryside. So, oh, very good indication. Yes, well done. I do love people that indicate, or shall I say some of them that don't. You have to be so careful at roundabouts. Don't become complacent for anyone. If I was an inexperienced driver, I may have pulled out in front of that car and he would have gone into the side of me. Right, anyway, so now we're on the road and we're going to take the climb back up to the hill. It's a huge golf course here on the right hand side, and there's an aeroplane which has been shaped into the field, and a little bit of history about the aeroplane. It belonged, there's a house now, I think it's become a health place, but there's a great big mansion further over the hill that belonged to a chap called Lord Beaverbrook, and Lord Beaverbrook was a great friend of Sir Winston Churchill in the Second World War, Lord Beaverbrook being Canadian. But just to think that he used to live just close to Box Hill. I'll tell you somebody else famous that lives around Box Hill, and that's Michael Caine. He's a well-known actor, very elderly gentleman now. So I've got the lovely woods and trees here. I love this road. It's just so pretty, so pretty. Especially in the autumn where the trees are full of leaves. I'll put a few photos up at the end so you can see what this road actually looks like in the autumn. But it is a lovely road. So we drop down into third gear and we start our climb back up the hill. Back into some sunshine again now. So pretty, so pretty. I love the countryside very much. I think overall probably the city for me has got the edge as far as taking photos and capturing street photography and loads of different subjects, but at the same time it's just such a pleasure to come out of the city at the end of my day's vlogging or photo shoot and be back in the country to unwind, chill down and just relax and become normal again. Well, you know, fairly normal. I don't like being too normal. Now, this road's got some nice little bends and twists to it. The lighting's lovely today. There's only about it's just gone 3 o'clock, so we're probably looking at about another 40 minutes and it's going to start getting dark then. But so that's not quite home yet, but if you can imagine those Olympic cyclists riding the same amount that I've been driving, and yet they did 9 laps. I mean, how do you put that into some sort of perspective? The fitness of those guys is just, I mean, it's unbelievable, just incredible. Excuse me, that was 2012 anyway. Still got a little bit of snow left on here. There's still a few patches of snow there on the ground. Its temperature's only about 2 degrees today. It hasn't, in fact, all week the temperature hasn't really excuse me, hasn't really got up much above 2 or 3 degrees. There's still a little bit of snow here, but it's supposed to be getting a bit milder next week, so that's not too bad. Well, they've got some traffic lights up here at the moment because they're putting down some new water pipes. But this road is, especially during spring and summer, is very busy. You get also quite a few horse riders up along here as well. So again, you know, you have to be very careful with those, because especially around the some of these tight bends that you can't see anything. The light should be changing in a minute. Somebody's going to let me out, which is very nice of them. Here we go. This chap's letting me out. Give him a wave. Thank you. Good man. So we got the Headley cricket ground on the left. You get quite a few people during the summertime sit on the benches there and watch them have a game of cricket. Look on the right hand side. Car park is absolutely chock-a-block. It's full up with different cars at Headley Common here, which is a very popular place to say the least. Gosh, didn't expect to see so many cars. But I'm going to avoid that area because the pandemic is so bad here. Our NHS doctors and nurses are literally on the brink of being overwhelmed. You know, they're overloaded. Even with the ambulance service that we have, the police and the army are going to help to drive some of the ambulances, but they're on the brink of being overwhelmed with this terrible pandemic that we have here in England. It's worse than it was last year, and of course last year the lockdown came in March, which was almost springtime, but because it's winter, you know, it's very bad. But nevertheless, we're going to get through it. But one thing that did touch me, I must admit, in fact it still does. I was watching the news during the week, and there was a nurse that caught the COVID virus, and she was sitting in her hospital bed, and you know, she was quite ill. She wasn't on a respirator or anything like that, and she was crying, and the only reason she was crying is because she couldn't help any of her patients. I mean, that is just an incredible human being, crying not because she was ill, she couldn't help her patients. What an amazing lady. Some people are just incredible. Look at that sunlight coming through. That's beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. I love these sun rays. I think I might go out and, it's supposed to be like this tomorrow. Today I didn't plan on any taking photos today, but looking at the light has given me some ideas. Maybe just do a very short walk, put my face mask on tomorrow and go out and take some photos. I might do a vlog, I don't know. If I put this up tonight, and if I get any feedback, you want me to do some vlogs while I take the photos, I will. Otherwise I might just take the camera out and just get a little bit of fresh air, a little bit of extra me time, and take some photos. But the sun's going down quite quickly now, so that is almost coming to the end of a complete lap of Box Hill in glorious winter sunshine. There's quite a nice pub here on the, that's nice, that cyclist silhouetted against the back there. There's a pub here called The Tree on the right hand side. There's really nice food. Grab a pint of Guinness and a few shops. Oh, it's bright. Probably didn't see anything there. A few shops on the left hand side, cycle shop, little news agents selling all sorts of knickknacks. I'm nearly home. I haven't, guess what? I have not had a single coffee yet. I wanted to do this first before it started getting too dark. So glad I've done this. So that's a complete lap of Box Hill. One complete lap. And this is where I stood here on the corner when the cyclists came past, and boy did they come past. They just shot past me. I thought I had plenty of time to photograph them, and they just like that was amazing. I'll never forget it. And back to my home. So there you are, a complete lap at Box Hill, winter sunshine, and a nice little chat. We had lots of brand new projects coming up later on in the year, all being well. Certainly some return trips to London. I just want to say a massive thank you to all the subscribers that I do have. Thank you very much for viewing my work, it's greatly appreciated. And thank you to any new subscribers that have just joined. Welcome aboard. Don't forget to press that little bell for any new videos. I'd like to make a lot more, but at the moment it's really quite difficult. But we'll be fine. We're going to get there in the end and back home. So there we are. So a huge thank you for viewing, and I'm going to catch you guys again hopefully very soon. Bye bye.